To you this hour by Chinook Valley of Austin.
This is the Wall Street Journal Report. I'm Dave Burkett. We're spending more. Details in a moment.
What we tried to do is to make the outside come in and make the inside go out.
Builder Jack Allen of Elan Limited. Inside the home he's created in the hills of Chinook Valley are 2 levels of luxury living with an upstairs loft looking down into a huge living room. Outside, the ultimate in privacy.
What we tried to do is leave a perimeter of trees all the way around the back of the yard.
Within that perimeter, a valley with its own dry creek, secluded by a hillside and viewed from a private deck.
The deck on it goes virtually the whole length of the house, and we're going to put a round hot tub in it.
The home site that inspired this home is not in the hills far west of Austin. It's in the hills in Austin, the prestigious Northwest Hills. Remarkably, its price is much less than comparable home sites much farther from town. The home sites of Chinook Valley. Nothing so close offers so much. Marketed by Jim Stevens and Associates. Call 346-1080. That's 346-1080.
Consumer spending is increasing, which analysts say should bode well for continued economic growth. Personal spending outpaced personal income in September. Spending expanded by 1.5%, while personal income grew 0.9%. Higher mortgage rates are being blamed for a decline in housing starts last month. Starts fell 13.4%, and an indication of the future, the number of building permits, also declined, falling 9%. Brazil's president has declared a state of emergency, saying approval of the measure by Congress is essential if Brazil is to get billions of dollars in needed loans from the International Monetary Fund and commercial banks. New York COMEX silver plunged more than 50 cents to $9.57 the ounce on a lack of demand. Gold lost $5.20 to $391.10. On Wall Street, disappointing earnings resulted in the Dow closing 4 points lower to 1246.75. This is the Wall Street Journal Report.
Michael Murphy, The Heart Never Lies.
Spirits are willing, but the flesh is weak.
A great guy with a great new album on Liberty Records. Michael Murphy, The Heart Never Lies.
You got to hold on, the heart never lies.
Michael Murphy, The Heart Never Lies. Available now on album and fine quality cassette at specially reduced prices. Michael Murphy, The Heart Never Lies.
Know the heart never lies.
Michael Murphy, The Heart Never Lies. Featured now at all Hastings Disc Records at Record Town stores throughout Texas.
Hi, this is Olin Merle. I hope you'll join me tomorrow morning at 9:30 for the Olin Merle Show. We have a potpourri of items. Let's see, we're going to talk about Halloween, we're going to talk about pianos, we're going to talk about adult services, number of things for your conversation on the Olin Merle Show, 9:30 tomorrow morning, right here on News Talk 590 KLBJ.
Sounds like an interesting show tomorrow, Olin. 6 o'clock. This is News Radio 590 KLBJ, the Evening Report with Frankie Rodriguez and Mark Caesar. Tim Ross says get ready for some toad-strangling showers in the Austin area. We'll have a low tonight of 70, and then that rain chance increases tomorrow. In Austin, we'll have a high of about 80. 6 o'clock, it's 85 downtown.
This is The World Tonight. Good evening. I'm Douglas Edwards, CBS News. A Mercedes car loaded with explosives blew up in Beirut today. That isn't so unusual in that city, but this time it happened just as a convoy of U.S. Marines was driving by. Don Kladstrup reports on a discouraging day in Lebanon.
4 U.S. Marines were wounded today when a car bomb exploded as their patrol was passing by the Kuwaiti embassy. The blast occurred just as it was being announced that the National Conference on Reconciliation was being canceled. This because Druze leader Walid Jumblat announced he was refusing to attend the talks. Jumblat, whose Syrian-backed militias have clashed frequently with the Lebanese army, said he was not against the conference in principle, but that the site which had been chosen, Beirut's international airport, was not safe. The Druze leader said he preferred Geneva or Tunis as a place to hold the discussions. Right now, there is no sign the talks will be rescheduled. Most people are holding their breaths to see if the cancellation will herald another round of bitter factional fighting. In fact, late today, renewed clashes were reported around Beirut between Druze, Shiite, and Christian forces. Western diplomats are skeptical about what might happen next. Just before the reconciliation conference was canceled, one observer predicted that if factional leaders didn't make it to the negotiating table, they'd be on the battlefield in 48 hours. Don Kladstrup, CBS News, Beirut.
President Reagan is holding a news conference tonight. A lot has happened since the last one. Deborah Potter reports on the major items of concern.
It's the president's first formal news conference in almost 3 months, and the questions have been piling up. Since his last one, the fighting in Lebanon has claimed the lives of 5 Marines, and the Soviet shoot-down of a Korean passenger plane has soured relations with Moscow. Mr. Reagan is likely to be asked about the chances for progress in both the Middle East and the arms control talks, where the administration now has its new build-down offer on the table. Also, since his last news conference, Mr. Reagan has lost a controversial Secretary of the Interior, James Watt, surprised almost everyone by naming his national security advisor, William Clark, to the post, and filled that vacancy with Clark's deputy, Robert McFarlane. The effect of all that shifting on administration policies and on the president's support among conservatives could well come up tonight. Also on the agenda, presidential politics. Mr. Reagan became a candidate in the eyes of the law this week, but he still hasn't announced that he's running. There may be questions as well about the president's trip to Japan and South Korea scheduled next month. Mr. Reagan's news conference may be heard over many of these CBS radio network stations beginning at 8 Eastern Time. Deborah Potter, CBS News, the White House.
If you had the choice, which would you take? Cash, merchandise, or travel? This is Kurt Gowdy, and the choice is yours. You see, you get NFL Super Points for staying at participating Howard Johnson's hotels and motor lodges. Also get Howard Johnson Super Points Awards catalog with the complete details. Then, decide whether to trade your Super Points for cash, any of 84 items of merchandise, or a dream vacation. The choice is yours when you choose Howard Johnson's lodges. Check in and check us out.